Thank you, Devin. And September is National Suicide Awareness Month, and according to the Wisconsin Department of Health, in 2021, 905 Wisconsin residents died by suicide. Records for 2022, while not complete yet, show at least 912 Wisconsin residents died by suicide.
Yes, sad news there. And here to tell us more about the risk factors and warning signs when it comes to suicide and depression is Nurse Christina Paris of the VA. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, good morning.
So tell us a little more about suicide and depression, just what it is and how we can work through it here.
So depression, is just feeling sad, lonely. It can have different forms, and it can be physical and emotional. It's really devastating to think about, 912 families being affected by this. It's not just the person, it's all of the families, and it's really sad. And I apologize because I am going to read a lot just because it's so important. I don't want to miss out on anything. So depression does affect people differently. So women are typically, it's a biological or lifestyle life cycle type of thing. So as we get older, we go through menopause, things like that can affect depression with women. And women typically feel sad, worthless, and guilty. And that can lead them to feeling really down. Men will be tired. They might be irritable. They might seem angry. With older adults, and older adults it's really more common. Last week alone, I had a 27-year-old and a 90-year-old that were depressed that I had to transfer to the crisis line. So it really varies. And it's going to be more difficult to spot in an older adult. They're going to have sleep issues, not enjoy things that they used to normally enjoy, and feel sad. Younger children are going to maybe pretend to be sick. They're not going to want to go to school, calling their parents. And older children might be more irritable, sulk, and have more anxiety and things. I see they have the warning signs. So we'll just jump to that if you don't mind. So these are the warning signs. So you're going to see people will want to talk about death. They might be looking for ways to kill themselves, talking about hopelessness. They might be searching online or finding ways to kill themselves. Increasing alcohol use, talking about being a burden to others, sleeping too little or too much, being withdrawn or isolated. They might even show rage or have, big mood swings. So these are just kind of some things to look out for.
And how can we maybe help someone if we know they're at risk?
Sure. So there's things you want to be aware. Just learn the risk factors and warning signs. Risk factors can be like just hopelessness and a history of past attempts in suicide, marital status, occupations, being in the military, going to college. I mean, that's really scary for kids. And when they come back, you want to check in with them. Not just, are you doing your homework? What classes? What are your grades? But how are you emotionally? Are you making friends? Are you, how do you feel about being away from home? You want to ask these questions. Be direct, be open and matter of fact when you're talking with them. Let them know your concerns. Hey, look, I'm really concerned you've been drinking a lot more. You seem to be sleeping a lot more than normal. Is there something going on? Are you feeling depressed? Are you feeling suicidal? And you do want to have those conversations. You want to ask those direct questions. That's not going to put that thought into their mind. And it might open up the conversation. Sometimes they want you just to acknowledge and go, yeah, I am really feeling down. I am really feeling depressed. So they just need you to open that up. And it's a scary conversation to have. Even as a nurse, I'm in a new position now where I'm triage and I cover everything from Chicago up to the UP, and I never know what's going to come in. Right. And it is scary when somebody, when you ask that question and somebody says, yeah, I am. But they are wanting help. So we can help, instead of being afraid of the situation, just get them help. Dial 988. That's all it is, 988. You just dial that, and they're the nicest folks. I have transferred people to them, and they're very kind, and they're very helpful. If you're a veteran, you want to press 1 for the it connects you with somebody who can see your medical records. So that's why as a veteran, it's important. We want to be non-judgmental, be aware. Don't act shocked. Like I said, you know, just be open to having that conversation. Talk to a pastor. You don't want to leave them alone. If somebody is really having thoughts about suicide, don't leave them alone. If you're not sure where to go, again, put the phone on speaker, dial 988, have that conversation. There's other resources you can go to, talk to a chaplain, talk to your primary care provider to get them help. So there's lots of resources out there. And be actively involved and be persistent. So continue to ask those questions. You know, if you get them to a point where they're feeling better and you send them back off to college, when they come back, check back in. You know, hey, how are you doing now? Or give them a call periodically. How are things going? You know, it's just important that we slow down, we acknowledge. Now, even with older adults, you know, you want to watch out for those people who are isolated, and we see it up here. You know, they moved up here years ago. The kids all live in the cities where there's jobs and working, and dad is left or mom is left up here by themselves. Maybe they lost their spouse after 65 years of marriage, you know, things like that. So you want to check in with your neighbors as well. You know, hey, Frank, how are you doing? How are things been since, you know, Gladys died? You know, just check in and see how they're doing and ask them if they need any help. And are they, you know, you can kind of just check in. It's really important.
Yes.
Being present.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, having this important conversation, to know that there is help out there.
Yep.
Remember to reach out to your loved ones. Always be kind. It's just an overall good message. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Nurse Christina.
Now coming up.